Hello mathematicians. So in this video we're going to look at the reason why we use the formula x equals to minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac, okay, over 2a. We're going to look at the reason why we always use this formula, or in most cases, why do we use that formula to solve the quadratic equations, the problems related to quadratic equations, okay? And so we start by applying the method that is completing a square. We want to make our a to be 1. We want to change our a to be a coefficient 1. So we can do that by simply dividing everything here by a. Let's divide everything by a. We get this divided by a, that divided by a, and that divided by a, as well as that divided by a. Or you can start by taking this c to the other side so that it becomes minus c. It's up to you, but it's fine, it's still fine. We can work with it. Now let's take it from here. We have our ax squared divided by a is just x squared. Bx divided by a is just plus b over ax plus c over a. That will be 0 over a is just 0 again. There's no problem. Now when we are here, what do? We say we want to rewrite this equation. We manipulate it. We complete a square. You take this coefficient. You're going to multiply it with a half, or you're going to divide it with a 2. It's the same thing. The answer that we're going to get, we're going to manipulate this problem with that answer that we're going to get. In what sense? In a sense of the next step is going to be x squared plus b over ax. You keep it. Now you can leave a space here for that answer that you got. You got b over a multiplied by 1 over 2. We get b over 2a. We want to add b over 2a here, but we must square it. On the other side, now we take this c over a. On the other side, we have c over a, but now it's negative. It's negative c over a. But since we added this extra term that we added on the left side, we must again add it on the other side. So we're going to add plus b over 2a all squared. We're going to add that term on the other side as well. From here, we can say we want the factors of this term. When we add them, we want to get b over a. Those factors are, we're going to say, we open the brackets like this. We put x and x. The signs are the same, and the signs are both positive. And those factors, the way we manipulated it, dividing by 2 or multiplying by half to get this term. This is the term that we are looking for, with the same signs that are both positive. The signs are the same and they are both positive, like that. Okay. Now the terms are b over 2a and b over 2a. We're going to simplify the left hand side so that it reads as, I'm going to write the positive one first, that is this one. We say it's going to be b squared. We simplify it. They are going to be a constant, a single constant. We simplify it, so it's going to be just b squared over 4a squared minus c over a. This is the constant that we are talking about, but we want it to be a single fraction. We'll proceed by simplifying it on the next step. Okay. Now this one on the left hand side can now be written as x plus b over 2a all squared. There is the same bracket containing the same thing, so we can just write it like that to be squared, multiplying itself. It's just that, it's just itself squared. And then we have equals to this side. We have our LCD. Our LCD is 4a squared. For these denominators to go in here, both of them, to go in there and leave no remainder. That will be 4a squared. Now we write it like this, 4a squared. We just 4a squared like that, squared like that. Okay, now we say 4a goes into 4a how many times? It goes into 4a once. And now what we want to do is to multiply that one that we get with the b squared, that is just b squared. A into 4a, 4a squared divided by a, that will give you 4a. The answer that you get, you want to multiply this negative c with the negative c there. You want to multiply with, so you get minus 4ac. You multiply 4a with that c, you get 4ac. Okay, now the next step from here is that you want to remove the square there. Removing that square means taking the square root for both sides. After taking the square root of both sides, for what we are solving for, we are looking for x. We can just say, okay, the answer is x plus the b over 2a. This will give you, without a square, you write without a square. The square going with the square root. Okay, now when the square went away with the square root, disappeared with the square root. On the left hand side, on the right hand side, I mean, we have the square root of this constant is going to give us a plus or a minus. That answer that we are going to get, that is just the square root of b squared minus 4ac. We cannot do away with the square root because we have two terms like that. We cannot, it's not mathematics if we do remove the square and the square root, or maybe the square of the b squared. These are mistakes that people do when solving these problems. So I'm just clarifying how to do it better, how to do it the correct way. And then we have the square root of 4a squared, because this one we can get. That's why we separate the square root, one square root into two square roots like that in the fraction. Now we are solving for this guy here. What we are looking for is that we are looking for x, and so our x is going to be, we take this guy to the other side. It's a constant. We take it with the constant. So let it go and join the constant on the other side. Okay. Now, when we do that, we get it receives a minus sign, minus b over 2a. Why is it becoming a minus? Because it was a plus on the left hand side. It will be a minus on the right hand side. Okay. When we subtract it from both sides, we can say that. Now we have plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over the square root of 4 is 2. The square root of a squared is a. And now you've reached your final answer. Your final answer is that, simplifying this, you have your 2a as your denominator, and then you have minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac as your final answer. That is the reason why we substitute when we have ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. We substitute a, b, and c in this formula to get the solutions for this guy, that is our x. Okay, now, I thought we are done. The next step is we should look for a button of this nature with a bell, a bell shape. If you can find it, look for this one first. Subscribe. You press that one, this one will appear. You will press this one as well. Okay. So let's say we have a problem like this. So if we have a problem like this and we want to use the quadratic equation, all we have to do is just to write it down. X equals to minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Divide everything by 2a. Okay, now Now, what are these components of this equation? From this given problem, you must know that the one that has x squared is your a. So this is written in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0. Now you want to identify your a as 3. You want to identify your b as your negative 5. You want to identify your c as your negative 2. And then you can come to this equation and say, okay, now I'm using this equation. X is therefore negative. B, you open the brackets for it, plus minus the square root of the very same b squared minus 4. You put your a, you put your c, and then you divide everything by 2a. That's what you want to do. And then you put in a place of b, you want to put minus 5 and minus 5 again here because it's still b. In a place of a here, in a place of a, you want to put your a, that is your 3. Your a is your 3. You want to put 3 there, positive 3. In a place of c, you want to put minus 2, like that. In a place of a, you want to put your 3. And then you can simplify. This is going to be, x is going to be equal to positive 5. A negative and a negative turns to positive, multiplying those two negative signs. Then you have this plus or minus the square root. Negative 5 squared is just 25. And then this negative of the 4 and the negative of the 2 multiplying will give us a positive sign here. 4 times 3, that is 12. 12 times 2, that will give you 24. And we divide everything by 6. And this will give you 5 plus the square root of 49 over 6, or x will be the 5 minus the square root of 49 over 6. Okay, now this is 5 plus the square root of 49 is 7 over 6, and same applies to this side. The square root of 49 is still 7, so you just subtracted 7 from there and then over 6. And so the answer for this question is that x is 5 plus 7 is 12 over 6 is 2, and 5 minus 7 is negative 2 over 6 is negative 1 over 3. And these are your solutions to the problem. Now we will get the same solutions if we were to use the manual way, factorizing this problem that we are given, factorizing the problem that is given manually, like when we are applying the grouping method. This is 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 equals to 0. Let's see what we are talking about. We are going to do this using grouping. Remember, grouping is when, please check on this video here, up here, so that you are not lost with what we are talking about. But I'll show you again here. Is when you're saying we're going to write it as 3x. Here we are done. Please note, we are done. We are just going to get those solutions using the other method of grouping. Okay, now we have 3x squared. You leave 2 spaces, you subtract 2, equate to 0. We are going to say, we are going to multiply a with c, but ignore the signs for now. We will work with the signs. in a moment. We will give you 6. You are looking for the factors of 6 now. The factors of 6, when you subtract them, you get 5. Okay, let's look for those factors. Factors of 6 are 3 times 2, 6 times 1. This will also give you 6. From these two groups, which one, when we subtract, which one is it that when we subtract we will get 5? It's 6 and 1. So 6 and 1 being identified, we can write 1 there, we can write 6 there. I don't like to put them like this. I just want to put them like this to show you that it is possible to get the same answer. On this video, I place them the other way. You will see. You will see there, and you will hear my advice on that video. But for now, let's place them like this. So it's 1x and 6x. Now we want to identify the signs of these terms. The signs are that they are not the same because of the negative again. Okay, and then what the most important part is that the largest magnitude between 1x and 6x will take the sign of the middle term. Okay, it will take this sign of the middle term. Okay, hope it makes sense. Now it means that again we said the signs are not the same, meaning it's a positive times a minus, we get a minus. This minus, it's not a positive and a positive or a minus and a minus. The signs cannot be the same. Yes. Now let's go ahead and place our signs such that the larger magnitude receives a negative sign, that is the negative 6 and then the plus 1. When you read these three guys, by the way, 1, 2, 3, you should get 1, 2, 3, the same equation. We didn't change anything. So, and then the next step is just for us to proceed. Go ahead and group. We're going to say, okay, we are grouping these two and we are grouping these two as well. So we have, open the bracket, 3x squared plus x, close the bracket, and then you can say plus, and then open the bracket, minus 6x minus 2 equals to 0. You can do it this way and take out minus 2 as common factor. I don't want to do that. I just want to go straight away to the answer. So going straight away to the answer means taking a negative outside. Take the negative outside, open the bracket. If you are closing the negative sign outside of the bracket, if it's outside, the signs that are following are going to change, all of them. So we're going to write here minus 6s plus 6x minus 2s plus 2, and then we close and then we equate to 0. Okay, now we take out x and x as common factor there because it's the common factor, and then we are left with 3x plus 1. Here we have minus, take out the 2 as common factor from inside, you have 2 there, you have 3x plus 1, and then this is equals to 0. And if you check from left and from the right, you have x plus 1, you have 3x plus 1, this term. If you check here, the first term and the second term, you notice that, okay, 3x plus 1 is common, and therefore we call it a common factor. We take out that common factor out, 3x plus 1 inside the brackets, and then we say the first term divided by this factor that we took out, we are left with x. The second term, same applies to it, and then we are left with 2, and then this is equals to 0. For this to be true, it's either the first term 3x plus 1 equals to 0, or x minus 2 is equals to 0. Okay, and then this will give us 3x equals to minus 1. This one will give us x equals to 2. Okay, and then from this one we clearly see that our x is minus 1 over 3, and these are the solutions that we produced there. This one is there, and this one is here. So that's how you can use quadratic equation to get. This is how you can use quadratic equations, the quadratic equation, general quadratic equation, to get the solutions. Okay, and this is how you can go manually to get the very same solutions. Sometimes they will say, when the question says they're giving you a quadratic problem and then they want you to solve for x, and they will say round to in a maths question paper, question 1, when they say round off to 2 decimal places in the brackets next to that question, you don't go this way. You don't do these methods, the manual methods. The only option and your savior is here. This guy will save you on that question. And please be aware of the signs. If our B is this -5, you take it as -5. If our C is -2, you take it as -2. You don't write 5, you don't write -2. You see, like the way I'm doing here, the way we substitute here, please rewind to to this problem so that you can I will identify it in this video description below where you should rewind to. Please rewind to there so that you can I will write it rewind on that time. You please click that time so that you can rewind to this moment so that you can be able to identify how we substitute into the quadratic equation. You don't substitute the way you want, you substitute the way mathematics want, or else you will be in the big trouble. You will miss the answers and you will just get your own decimal answers, decimal solutions that are not correct.
Please help me find the black button down below. It's written subscribe on it. Just please click on that button to help support the channel, and click the notification bell that will show after that button. Please like the video that you are currently watching. Leave your comment in the comment section below about the topics of mathematics you want me to cover for you.
Okay, thank you for watching this video. Keep well. Bye.